How are we doing, guys? Luke of SimBoxx here, and welcome to the SimBoxx prediction video for this weekend's Matchroom main event. It's live in Manchester, broadcast on Dazn. It's Conor Benn, undefeated, 20-0, taking on the Heat, South Africa's Chris Van Heerden. Now, with this fight, it's another one of those contests for Conor Benn where he's taking on, maybe a former world champion that's a little bit past his best, the likes of Chris Algieri that he's fought before, and Samuel Vargas and Adrian Granados, some of his most recent victories, and of course Sebastian Formella, which was a good win given Formella's performance against Sean Porter previously. But it's Van Heerden, it's this weekend, it's the main event in Manchester, and I've got to agree it is an underwhelming opponent. All due respect to Van Heerden, I think at this stage of Conor Benn's career, 20-0, with the wins that he's had recently, we can expect a little bit more. But if we are to believe what promoter Eddie Hearn says, this is the last of these kind of fights for Conor Benn, and that he will be chucked in at the deep end come the summer with a fight against an elite opponent. And names mentioned were like Adrian Broner, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and fighters like that. So we can hope, fingers crossed, that there's bigger and better fights in the future. But let's get into my prediction for this fight on Saturday. A lot is being made of Van Heerden being a southpaw, and the fact that he's going to be the first southpaw Conor Benn has fought in his career. But at 37 years of age, late 30s, there's not going to be too much left in the tank of Van Heerden, and he's not been very active at all. His last bout was against the fantastic Jaron Boots Ennis, and that was about 18 months ago. It was stopped due to a cut suffered by Van Heerden, but he was getting battered from pillar to post in that fight, and he was a few seconds away from being brutally taken out. And unfortunately for Van Heerden, that's exactly how I see this fight going this Saturday. My prediction is Conor Benn is going to be too young, too fresh, too ferocious, and he's going to go in there and he's going to get a job done on Chris Van Heerden. He's going to take him out within 6 rounds and move on to bigger, better and badder things in the summer of 2022. I'll pass on to my colleagues here at SimBoxx, and they'll give you their breakdown and predictions too. Make sure you check out SimBoxx across all social media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, down below.
Today at SimBoxx here with a quick prediction video for Conor Benn versus Chris Van Heerden this weekend at the Manchester AO Arena. And I think in another fight, which is going to leave us asking the same questions of Benn's capabilities at world level, I can see a mid-rounds stoppage for Benn, somewhere between 6 to 8 rounds. And hopefully after this fight, we'll see a fight for Benn against someone like David Avanesian, which will give us a better indication as to where Benn's currently at and where he's heading in the short term. And personally, I don't want to see a fight against Kell Brook for Benn after this one, providing that Benn does come through. So yeah, mid-round stoppage for Benn, and hopefully a fight against David Avanesian after this.
Hello, my name's Sean Rye for SimBoxx, and this is my prediction for the fight between Conor Benn and Chris Van Heerden. I think it's clear what the intention is, matching Benn with Van Heerden at this point. It's another relatively well-known name, another decent profile on the record. They seem to be trying to progress him with these names. Interesting that obviously he fought Algieri, who was past his best. They were then calling out Adrian Broner, so it seems that the profile building is the most important thing for them at the minute. I think obviously they need to try and progress him as a fighter, Conor Benn, and make sure that every fight is one that he's going to gain something from. That's the most important thing. I don't know if he'll learn that much from this fight with Van Heerden. He's been out a couple of years, and even then his last fight was a non-contest after a clash of heads in round 1, I think with Boots Ennis. So he's going to be ring rusty, which I think will make Benn want to start fast, put it on him early, and I expect him to do that. Incidentally, Van Heerden's had a couple of, I think 2 out of his last 3 have been stopped due to a head clash, so it's something to be wary of, something to be aware of. Not necessarily saying it's his fault, but again, he's had some quite bad cuts. He's been in with some decent operators, so he's got the experience. He might be able to navigate his way around the fight, use his ring craft. We saw that Benn can get frustrated with fighters who know their way around the ring, know how to spoil, know how to defend. So it'll be interesting to see the level of ambition from Van Heerden. But I can't really see anything other than a Benn victory, and I think pretty comprehensively as well. Again, for me, the key is going to be the start in the first few rounds. If Benn can get into a rhythm, sort of cut the ring off and get to him, I think once he gets him going, I think he could get him out of there. I just hope that following this fight, they start to pitch him in with some fighters who are really gonna test him at that level. I understand they're building the profile, a similar thing. Amir Khan, although he was a lot younger, they wanted to get his confidence and his profile up, fighting sort of names, but not necessarily ones in their peak, likes of Antonio Barrera. So I understand the method, but I just think this will be quite straightforward for Benn if he doesn't get too frustrated and is patient and looks for the openings. So my prediction for the Benn Van Heerden fight is Benn by stoppage.